Welcome to the First Atlanta's Zoom event. I appreciate everybody taking their time out of their schedule. I know as chefs we have a busy schedule, and getting the time to step aside to go ahead and watch something like this is very appreciative. We've got a very dynamic lineup for you this evening, and I've told some people in keep a tissue box next to you. You just may need it. So as we go through this evening, our executive director Polly is going to be go ahead and fielding questions on the far side underneath the chat section. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to add into the discussion, please go ahead and type those in, and we'll go ahead and add those into the discussion or ask our speakers questions that lead into that, okay? The format here is we're going to go through 3 questions. The topic this evening was chefs and why we care. Those are broken down into 3 different categories this evening, okay? We've gone ahead and broken it down to chefs, why we care about family, why we care about food, and why we care about our friends. Okay, each one of those categories kind of has a subcategory to it. We're going to ask our speakers to go ahead and talk and chat about those things from their viewpoint. Okay, each one panelists this evening are quite illustrious. I'd like to go ahead and introduce them. We have Chef Kimberly Brown. Kimberly Brown was born in Chicago and raised in Maywood, Illinois as a chef and apprentice. I'm not going to say when you graduated. Culinary journey was taking her work through Dallas, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Asheville, North Carolina, Charleston now, also being featured as pastry chef in February 1998, the James Beard House. Kudos to you, that's fantastic. In 2001, Kimberly started her own wholesale food distributing company. In 2009, Kimberly has went back to her basics and her culinary experience and started Culinary Concepts, LLC, for catering, demonstrations, and other services. I could go on, and I can tell you one thing, everything is having you as a member of our association is utterly incredible. And what I find even better is having you as a member of the AEC, our Honor Society for Chefs, and also being the first African-American female chef inducted into the executive pastry of South Carolina. That is phenomenal. Kudos to you, and welcome to discussion. Also, we have Chef Jay-Z and everything. Jay-Z is a graduate of Johnson & Wales University in Providence and certified as executive chef through the ACF. He has had a love for the culinary arts from his first time his grandmother praised his tuna fish salad sandwich, which I love that story, Jay-Z. As corporate chef, he works with chefs and operators worldwide to help them capitalize on InHarvest products and heighten the dining experience with on-trend flavors and exceptional experiences. Jay-Z has served his 2nd term as president of AC Chefs Charlotte chapter. His several industry recognitions include the ACF Spirit of Aloha Award, the Cutting Edge Award. Under his leadership, the local ACF chapter earned the Chapter of the Year of Southeast Region in 2019. Congratulations, that's phenomenal. And our final panelist this evening is Chef Isaac Crawford. Isaac Crawford is a lead culinary instructor at the Rockdale Career Academy. He has worked in the food industry since he was 14 years old and worked diligently to climb the ranks. He graduated at the top of his class with honors from the Le Cordon Bleu Culinary College and was promoted to chef instructor at his illustrious alma mater. In addition to this endeavor in education, Chef Crawford has also been featured in several network culinary events, including the 2016 through 2019 PGA Tour Championship, the 2019 Super Bowl tailgate party, and most recently on screen for Netflix's hit series Love is Blind and Lifetime television series Bride and Prejudice Forbidden Love. On the private chef scene, Chef Crawford has also served numerous celebrity clients, including Richard Schiff, Usher Raymond, and Dr. Sanjay Gupta from CNN, to name a few. His culinary accolades include Chef de Cuisine, Certified Chef de Cuisine with the ACF, for which he serves as also the Vice President for the Atlanta chapter for 2020-2021. We welcome them all, please. I'm going to go ahead and start in the discussion.
Thank you, Chef.
Absolutely, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and start on the discussion. I'm going to go ahead and start off. I'm going to let the ladies start off here first. Kimberly is chefs and why we care. The first topic was about family, why we care about families. underneath that moniker, I put families, meaning home families, staff, and coworkers. As chefs, we always want to go ahead and take care of our home families, but there's more to family, I believe, and everything as a chef than just your home family. There's other things that wraps around that. So, Kimberly, I'm going to let you go ahead and chime in there a little bit and see your thoughts on that, and then we'll head over to Jay-Z and then Isaac.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate the conversation to be here tonight. And just in case you guys, this is also yours too. I got it at the house, but congratulations, Region of the Year. So those who didn't see it, didn't know.
Fantastic. Yay.
My thoughts are, you can almost sum this all up in 3 words: love of humanity. And so when you have that in your spirit, when you possess that and you showcase that, I think how you interact with other people, it exudes, and you cannot help but to be treating people the way you want to be treated. Going back to that golden rule, so family is not just blood. It's the people who you have a kindred spirit, a like-mindedness with. It's people who you are interacting with on that level on a regular basis. And so, my son will always say, my brother from another mother, because they've just been best buddies from whatever. Or it's that sales rep that just, goes beyond the call. You can call on a Saturday, Sunday morning and get what you need to have, because that sales rep is on point for you. And so I think it's when you treat people with respect and you have that kindness and concern for them, I think you get that back. So it's just for the love of humanity. I think it just sums it all up. When you express that, you live that.
No, well said, Kimberly. As like I said, and everything is that we have family at home, but we also have family at our work. That is our home family. I always tell my staff at work that you're not just an employee to me. You're not a person I put on a schedule. You are my family. I have a family when I go to work. I have a family when I go home. So absolutely, you hit the nail on the head there with that. So kudos to you and everything. Really well. Jay-Z, you want to chime in on that and then let's know what you think?
Yeah. So I live a different world. I work from home, so I don't have a staff necessarily to manage or do any of that. I do have a boss, Michael Holloman, and we communicate probably, I'd say, once a week. And then we do have some directors that we talk to once a week, stuff like that. And being in the situation we're in now, where everything's a phone call, nothing really changed for me besides now I see everybody on video, which I never did before, but I always had a phone call. The main office for me, where all the coworkers are, is actually in Bemidji, Minnesota, and I'm down in North Carolina, Charlotte area. So it didn't really, it's weird, like when all this stuff happened, and I look at my coworkers as family, and I call the office and I try to talk to them at least once a week. I try to talk to everybody in the office. There's 21 of them, roughly, 16, 17, 20, anyway. And then there's another office in California. So they're all my coworkers, and they're family in the sense of we call, we talk, we have our meetings, but we also discuss a little bit about what's going on in our lives, kind of have that talk in the office that you would have, or if you went into the restaurant, you're talking to your staff and things like that. You have that camaraderie. So I call every week to talk to someone different every day in the office, and I say, hey, throw me over to Kelly. Hey, throw me over to Loretta, and it's on the phone. So they pass me around the office. It's pretty cool. And it's my jump start to my day, because I do it in the morning. And then I look at family at home as different than family and coworkers. And you need your family in order to make decisions in your life. And like, there were certain things that have happened in my career right now, and I was like, I can't make any decisions until I talk to my family first. So long talk between my mom, my dad, and my wife and my daughter. Those are the immediate first ones we have to talk to. So I look at those for support, because that helps me. It's your sounding board with your family. They always listen. And then I have my coworkers. I'll ask them some questions too, but it's a little different. So there's two different families, two different styles, and they're both very important for me because I work from home. And my wife can't handle me talking to her every single day about work. So you have your work family and you have your family, and it helps balance. So that's where I go with that question.
Oh, fantastic! I appreciate it. It's very true, especially when you work from home. That life balance is something else tremendously. I'm going to kick over and ask Isaac to answer the same thing a little bit about that home family, that staff, those coworkers a little bit. Seeing that he's an instructor, he'll probably have a little bit of different mix on that. So go ahead, Isaac.
Absolutely. So thank you, Chef. I think what changed for me is having a family of my own. That kind of really opened up my eyes. And then another big thing about that was being on the other end of the stick. I was in situations where it was kind of dysfunctional in the family and or in the kitchen, and people not treating people with the same respect. And I took that and I retransformed that, and I promised myself that I never would want to treat somebody else like the way that I was treated at that point. So that kind of helped me blossom out. And I think the key word is just trying to build a community, and within the kitchen, being able, because you're only as strong as your weakest link. So, and I'm not one to really yell in the kitchen anymore. I would much rather build somebody up with positive reinforcement. And, you get way more productivity out of people when they feel comfortable and they feel that as if you have their best interest at heart, which I usually do. Professional development is something that I truly believe in. Building your staff, and it goes back again to you're only as strong as your weakest link. And I think that, and then that kind of radiates out to being a high school instructor. I told myself I never wanted to be a high school instructor, and here I am. That's the funniest thing about the hospitality culinary industry is it takes you in places that you thought you'd never be a part of, and it's really amazing to have that type of influence under young chefs, or even people that love to cook, to share that same common love and passion. So I think it's just trying to strengthen our own community, and give an opportunity to somebody that a better opportunity than what they would have had otherwise. So that's what I have on that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate everything. It's good to hear the difference of views on that. I'm going to move on to the next question. Basically, chefs, why we care about food. Now, that's an open-ended question to most chefs. You hear about why do we care about food? The question can be answered in so many different realms depending on where you're coming from. But from my perspective, is where I'm at a country club as an executive chef, is why I care about food, and that comes down to the farmers and our suppliers. Our local suppliers, our local farmers, our local, cheesemongers, our local product providers. So I'm going to go back to Kimberly and let her go ahead and chime in a little bit. Also, being a pastry chef, she's going to appreciate that from a different standpoint too a little bit. So I think everybody, even from Jay-Z and Isaac, will all have a little bit different view on that. So I'll let Chef Kimberly go ahead and jump in there. But again, why we care about.
I think we're all a little narcissistic in our approach to food, that we just love to see somebody enjoy their food. I mean, we live for that stuff. Finish the plate, to scrape the bowl. We just want that thrill, that rush that they ate that, they loved that, they devoured it. We don't want to see food come back into the kitchen getting dumped. We want that food to be gone. So if you don't cook with love, if you don't have that love for food and put it on the plate, people won't eat, people won't come back. So what are we doing? Why are we there? And there have been plenty of times coming from my hotel background where, I'm the one who's the fixer when something in the experience of dining did not go wrong or did not go right. So we send them chocolate strawberries to the room. We send them, cookie and blah, blah, blah for a turn down service. We send them an extra dessert. We comp the dessert. We give them the anniversary cake, whatever, So we throw all kinds of things at them to enhance or to fix the experience that they're having. So when you know that you can do something that will be totally appreciated, that's just loved by other people, and you can see the expression, you can see the empty plates, glasses, dishes coming back to the kitchen. That's just it. That's why we drive ourselves and work these crazy hours, up early, up late, whatever, and do what we do because we love the food. We love the effects the food has on our customers.
No, absolutely. Couldn't agree most and everything. Jay-Z, let you chime in there again, like I said, about the local farmers, suppliers, and your aspect.
So again, a slightly different perspective. It's pretty cool. I like this. So obviously I don't have a restaurant, all right, but I supply restaurants. But I'm going to agree 4 billion% with Chef Kimberly. I live for that genuine oh, that's delicious. That genuine moment in someone's life that you create for them, whatever it is you're making. Not the, hey, how was that? That's good. No, I want that genuine moment. So I wait for that moment to come, and it has to be all the parts. It has to be now knowing your farmer, knowing your supplier, knowing everything in the industry, not just, oh, I'm going to go buy some meat somewhere and then make a good steak. But if you know that meat came from T&D Farms and that farmer, Billy, was out there all day long hauling up the cattle, and you know that it's grass fed, and you can tell a story. I mean, I don't want to go into naming the animals, but you could tell that story and then be able to share that with your perspective on when you cook. So it's very, very important. So I love the farmers markets locally around here. I got Farmer Jason, Farmer Kristen, and Farmer James, all the local farmers markets that I go to. And I teach my daughter, get to know those farmers, know where your food is coming from. And when I look at them and I see dirty nails, I'm so excited because I know they were out this morning digging up that for me and putting it out so that I can buy that fresh moment of food. And as far as your suppliers, I don't work with any broad lines in the sense of me buying food from them sometimes, but I do work with a lot of local groceries. So at my Harris Teeter, I know the manager, that's Bob. I've got Russ and Seafood. I've got, I wrote the names down here. I've got all my people in the deli, and they know that when I come up there that I'm looking for the best quality, the best stuff. I've gone to a couple of different supermarkets to find the best produce to use because the stuff is, moldy or bruised. Sometimes supermarkets have that stuff on the shelf still. So I look for all those moments, and the individuals know that when I walk in, I'm like, I'm going to you. I want the best stuff. Bring it. And they all know, oh, Jay-Z, go check out those oranges that just came in, or go check out those apples, or hey, our figs are in, Jay. Oh man, the figs are so cool right now. So those are the moments I look for, and knowing that part of my family there. And I really respect people that care. And it even goes down to the darn cashier. If the cashier throws my pears down to the bagging, I tell her, don't do that. Wait, you're bruising them. Those are my pears. Pears bruise fast. I just gently grabbed each one and put it in the bag, and you just threw it across the scanner. So it's all about teaching us, but you find those individuals. So I've got Sandy at the, my lady at the grocery store. I always go to her for checkout, and she knows, she takes things very carefully and rings it up because she knows that I love food. And I feel like we've taught her to love food too, from my daughter and I shopping all the time. So it is a love of food, and that all those parts come together, and then you cook it with love and passion. And then I get that genuine, that was really good moment. And that's what I like.
Quick question for you, Jay-Z. Do you shop in your shirt coat?
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I have 3 sets of coats. I have a chef coat for the kitchen. I have a chef coat for right now. And then I have coats that I wear out when I go into supermarkets. Because I'm a believer that you shouldn't wear the same coat that you'd wear out in public in a kitchen. I just feel like that's my personal belief. So, but yes, I have different chefs for different moments.
I love it. So do I. I'm guilty. It's okay.
Thanks to new chef. Now, I'm not promoting anybody, but that's,
All right, Isaac, I'm going to go ahead and ask you the same question about those farmers, local suppliers. I know you're very passionate about that, those ingredients, and the local people around here. I'll let you chime in and give me your feelings.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chef. So I agree with both chefs. I think it comes down to purely satisfaction. But I think it goes deeper for me, and I think it came from working at Emory University Hospital running healthcare kitchens. Is when I came to work, I didn't realize how many sick people were out there. That basically it stems from food. If people don't eat properly, it creates diseases. And so I took that drive of making food holistic, not just to nourish the soul, but also nourish the body as well. And also we live here in Georgia, and Georgia, I think, has some of the best produce and products offered in the Southeast. And so being able to heal somebody, or try to nourish somebody's body and soul with some of the best products offered, that also drives my passion and my spirit as well. You know, and it's really cool. I do a lot of R&D with vegan food and vegetarian food, and different diets, because it's really funny to me when people tell me that vegan food is disgusting, vegetarian food is disgusting. No, it's not. It's just you're either getting the wrong ingredients, or you don't know how to prepare those ingredients properly for them to be absolutely delicious. And so I do a lot of R&D and do a lot of reinventing the wheel and making sure that the
I think you're zipping in and out a little bit there, Isaac, and everything. We'll get right back to you.
vegan, gluten-free, whatever the case may be, it's the best darn product that I can put out, not just to satisfy healing property for your whole body too. You're breaking up.
All of us, I think, here we go.
There you go. Yeah, you're good.
You guys got me back?
Yeah, you're back in. All right, I'm going to
All
go
right,
ahead.
sorry, Chef.
It's all right. I'm going to go ahead and move on, though. I'm going to go ahead and get you started and everything a little bit. I think we covered the last chapter and everything, basically about caring about friends, sales reps, delivery drivers, neighbors, fellow chefs. I think we've kind of encompassed that. As chefs, we all love what we do, and we love taking care of people. The driving force I've heard here is the fact that we love seeing that expression of love for a food when we create it and we introduce it to somebody. They go ahead and have that experience. I mean, I used to love one of my first jobs was in a restaurant where it was an open kitchen, a glass kitchen, and I can see the response on all the guests when that plate left the kitchen and it hit that table. There was no other better experience for me than to go ahead and see that face light up and everything, and them enjoy every bite of that food. And like Kimberly said, not having anything come back on that plate, you know, and just really enjoying it, not having to send it out there. So, yep.
I just want to add one thing, if you don't mind. The ACF family, and this is where we know our tissues. It's been every single moment of my life and everything I have done, ACF has had it's wheeled its way in somewhere. So it's really important, that whole networking and talking with everybody. So there's another whole family that we all have. And I think this is a great example right here. You reaching out to all the chapters that are on this call right now. I haven't looked yet, but there are so many on this call. It's not just Atlanta, which I feel is making our family really, really big and making people realize, hey, there are more family members out there. So that's another family thing I was thinking about that I took note of.
No, it's thank you. Reaching out to the other chapters, reaching out to everybody. ACF is family. I mean, Instagram can definitely stand for family. It literally can. Going ahead and reaching out like that. So no, I appreciate you bringing that up, Jay-Z. It's a very true fact. Everything that I've done in my career has been woven somehow in some way with ACF. Through my mentors, through my jobs, through the events and stuff that I've done, through charity work, giving back to the community, doing everything that I have and everything. So it's passing that passion on to others now is the most important part in my life right now, is passion of what I've done. You know, Jay-Z passes on his passion of what he's done. Isaac does it. Kimberly, we all pass on that passion of what we've done in the past to others now, so they can experience the love and joy that we have and everything moving forward. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and intro a video that we've gone ahead and created and pulled from Isaac Crawford's own website. Isaac's done this. How long ago was this, Isaac, that you did this video?
I started Emory in 2016 and left 2018. So did a lot. It was I did quite a bit of work, which was very satisfying those 3 years. So.
Well, I'm going to introduce this video. It's about a 7-minute video. I encourage everybody to watch this. Again, have a tissue nearby. And then as soon as we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and into Isaac doing a demonstration.
Can I plug my wife on that? My wife actually produced it, Naisha Crawford. She was so I'm so lucky that she produced this when she was getting her master's degree at SCAD University. So it was beautifully done, and it means a lot to me. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to play this video and let everybody go ahead and enjoy.
I grew up in a small town called Berryville, Virginia. I had a very nurturing mother, hardworking father.
Isaac's childhood growing up was joyful.
Shoot, I gotta turn that back on, I'm sorry.
To laugh. Small town life.
When my parents decided to split and divorce, my mother decided to move to Des Moines, Iowa.
During the time of the divorce was a dark time. I didn't really have the tools as an experienced parent going through a divorce to withhold a lot of my, or mask a lot of my emotions. And so that kind of reflected on the boys. Keller stayed behind at the last week, and so that separation, I think, was very hard for Isaac.
When I was living in Berryville, Virginia, I was going through learning disability programs. It was very difficult, so instead of getting extra help, I would act out.
When we moved, Isaac asked me if he could go to regular classes and not be labeled learning disabled. So I did that.
I actually begged and pleaded my mother to put me in normal classes because I was sick and tired of being harassed and bullied and being made fun of for being different. The first moment that I knew that I wanted to cook was when I was really young. I think I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, and I used to watch PBS all the time. One show that really stuck out was Yan Can Cook, and it was this amazing Asian guy named Yan, and he had this big meat cleaver. His slogan was, "If Yan can cook, so can I, so can you." You know, and so like I was like, dang man, he can cook, I can cook.
Once Isaac was able to find the culinary track in the Des Moines school system, he just became a different person. He started to feel confident and more sure of himself.
My first day at food technology and management was amazing. Scary, didn't know what to expect again. But once I got into it and got into the kitchen, I knew that I was very satisfied. I was very content. After that first class, I knew for sure that I wanted to be a chef. After I completed the courses at Central Campus, I decided to go to Le Cordon Bleu and received my bachelor's degree in culinary management. I got promoted to chef instructor. Then I heard the bad news.
It's a popular school. You've probably seen commercials for Le Cordon Bleu Culinary Arts School. Soon it will stop accepting students nationwide and in Chicago. As the I-Team reported in October, it is on a list of for-profit colleges under investigation.
I found myself looking for another job, where it led me to Emory University Hospital as the executive sous chef.
I started to feel pain in my ribs in the fall of 2016, but I was moving back to Nevis, back home. Well, I'm in St. Kitts, guys, and there's Simone. She's kind enough to take me over to Nevis. That's Michelle's sister. And my heart just flew out the window. We're gonna go catch it. Bye, love you guys. It was ironic that Isaac happened to be working at Emory at the same time. And unfortunately, within 3 months, I needed to see my oncologist in St. Thomas, and she sent me to Atlanta. I was officially re-diagnosed in January of 2017 with recurrence of breast cancer. It wasn't until a week later that I had a PET scan where they realize that it was metastatic breast cancer to my bones.
I was a wreck when I found out my mom was diagnosed again with breast cancer. And I don't even know how I did it, really. Like, I was just, I kind of just became numb. You know, I didn't want to feel like I just feel destroyed by somebody that that loved and cared and nurtured me my whole life is now suffering from one of the most deadliest diseases and cancers anybody ever had to face. And so it was a mission of mine when I wanted to redesign some components that we offered at Clifton Cafe. I wanted to make it as pure and as delicious and nutritious as I possibly can.
I didn't realize that what I was researching and the changes I was making in my personal life, you know, to heal my body, I didn't realize what a huge impact that had on Isaac until, you know, probably a year ago. And as I realized, and he would say, "Mom, we're opening up the new Clifton Cafe and it's going to be plant-based," you know, I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's different. And then I didn't add it all up until, you know, recently. I think that my being at Emory and having a doctor at Emory and having my son being the executive sous chef at Emory is kind of magical. It's how God works.
The journey is like validation. It's like eating a piece of humble pie. Is there hard times? Absolutely. But as long as the good times outweigh those hard times, it's well worth it.
All right. Obviously, and everything, the video is amazing. So what we want to go ahead and do is I would like to go ahead and introduce Isaac Crawford and his this evening's special guest, and allow him to go ahead and tell us about the dish he's going to do and move forward with the demo. Isaac, you got it there? All right. You'll have to unmute yourself on Isaac's side. Yeah, just unmute.
You guys good? You guys good?
I'm good. I hear you.
Check, 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 check.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Welcome to my home in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Today, we're going to be cooking an amazing recipe that means a lot to me, but I have a very special guest that means the world to me and has been my biggest fan since the day I was born, and has been an extreme advocate of mine. I'd like to introduce my beautiful mother, Mary Ellen Kelly, but while you're in our home, you can call her May May Kelly. So, Mom, come on over here. This is my mother. So today what we're going to talk about, so today what we're going to do is we're going to do a low thiamine vegetable soup. And the reason I did this a lot of different ways, but I'll have Mom explain what it means to her and her diet. But for me, I was diagnosed with hypertension and high cholesterol. And when I started eating the soup on a regular basis, it helped me heal myself. And now I'm back to my regular regimen and a regular blood pressure and stuff like that. So it kind of saved my life. So how we're going to do it, and this is very interchangeable. A lot of people are going to ask me why soup is hot outside. Well, the soup had enough to serve during the summertime, and we have, you know, this time of the year, we have some of the best produce coming out of our garden. So I also wanted to feature that too. And then, so as I'm going to introduce my mise en place, and then I'll give it over to Mom, and she can talk to her about her philosophy behind the soup, why I start cooking it. And then when she's finished, then I'll just catch you up to speed where I'm at. And then hopefully I can get to a nice little presentation for you. So what we have is, of course, onions, garlic. We have 1.5 large onions, 5 cloves of garlic, eminced. We have 4 Yukon Gold potatoes that have been peeled in large dice. We also have 4 stalks of celery, 4 tomatoes out of the garden that are large dice. I have some cremini mushrooms, some portobello mushrooms for the umami. I also have the carrots, the cannellini beans. I'm also going to garnish with a sunflower pesto, basically just like a pesto without the cheese. And then I have some some leaves and stuff from the herb garden. And what's really important is the sodium content in this. It only has a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. But how I do it is when I bloom the spice, and I also have cumin and black pepper in here as well. And so when I saute the onions and garlic, I also throw in my spices to help bloom the flavor profile. And I also use lemon because that also intensifies the flavor profiles in there as well. And then, of course, we have our organic house-made vegetable stock that we'll add to it as well, because you can't have soup without stock, yes? So, and then I have spinach. We love spinach. This, I think they have mustard greens and some baby bok choy. And you can just, all this can be interchanged any way that you seem fit. And it's absolutely beautiful and doesn't take very long to prepare. So let me go ahead and get started. But before I get started, I also want to say that most people cook with olive oil. High heat, I always cook with high heat, so I always do it with coconut oil because it has a higher smoke point. I never want to use my beautiful olive oil to cook with, so I always finish with that. So I'm going to allow Mom to kind of discuss why and kind of plug you and like give you some really amazing knowledge on her situation. So Mom, take it away.
Oh my goodness, what a beautiful introduction. This is so beautiful. I want you to prepare soup for me every day. So talking about seasonal soups, if you're cooking for your health, which translates to survival, you don't care what season it is. So you would just want really good nourishing food all year round. So I'm working with conventional, got it? I'm working with a doctor here in Atlanta, and I had been working with a doctor at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, and I met a really great guy, a biochemist who lost his wife in 2008, who has now got developed Nutritional Oncology Research Institute, and he has studied the literature and found out that cancer cells are dependent on methionine, an amino acid, and much more so than sugar and glutamine. Glutamine and sugar are also fuels for the cancer cell, but you can literally control the growth and the you can what do I want to say, not progression, but the cessation of cancer cell growth by just lowering the methionine in your diet. So this is a low methionine recipe. I can also translate these ingredients to a vegetable loaf, and that can be my staple for the week. So I
make a big batch of soup on Sunday, and a loaf. And then I have my low methionine. The ingredient with the most methionine in this recipe probably are the beans. So on a low, the protocol that I'm on is a low methionine week and then a medium methionine week. So I can leave these out for low methionine week and add them for the next week. And then I take certain nutraceuticals, and you can look up Mark Simon and Nutritional Oncology Research Institute on nutritionaloncology.net. I would love to encourage all of the chefs within hearing distance to connect with your local Healing Strong community. Healing Strong is patients helping patients. Doctors can join, anybody can join. It's for prevention of chronic illness. It's for people of all stages of cancer. It's all completely run by volunteers. And how you doing, Isaac?
What'd you say, Mom?
How you doing?
I'm doing lovely. I'm just kind of working as you kind of explain the theory behind it.
Okay.
So why don't you talk a little bit about, like, on the low thiamine, what else? Do you just eat the soup, or is there other things that you do? Talk to them about how essential the fruits are and how much fruit that you and how that kind of helps.
Yes, a low methionine day, what it looks like is maybe 80% fruit a day. And then your vegetable sustenance, even nuts have medium methionine. You absolutely want to stay away from any meat or fish, dairy, and sugar, of course. So you're really dependent on fruits and vegetables for nutrition. And that is how I am controlling an advanced stage 4 cancer from going any further into my body. So back to Healing Strong, healingstrong.org has been really, really helpful. The camaraderie and the sharing of
the community
information and recipes and protocols. It's really amazing. But imagine having your local chefs join Healing Strong and connecting everyone, because if we had people, involved in that, there would be so much healing going on and so much learning going on. So the most important thing is opening up your computers to YouTube, looking up Dr. Michael Greger, who has a completely ad-free website called nutritionfacts.org. He absolutely takes no sponsors. He's not biased in any way whatsoever. He reads all every paper that comes out, every journal that comes out. He and his volunteers read every single day. He releases information, the latest information. I can't even stress how important his website is for especially chefs and cancer patients, nutritionfacts.org. And he's lecturing all over. He doesn't take a penny. All of the money goes straight to his charities. Right. So I think I hit Nori, I hit Healing Strong.
So why don't you talk about your own practice? Like, so Mom is a holistic coach, right? For those who don't know, and
yes.
She's been doing a lot of really amazing work here, not just in Atlanta, but LA, where she came from. But she's, and let me say something too. This, I'm a chef, and one reason, the reason I do what I do is not just from my family, but I know our brothers and sisters out in the community. They are also going through a very similar situation as what I'm going through. And I realize the more conversations that we have, and it's really a difficult conversation because we're always trained not to talk about it, to push our emotions down and down and down until we have a breaking point. And I'm not down with that anymore. You know, I'm telling all my friends, people that I love and cherish, even those who I don't, if you're in a situation like this and you are stressed out, reach out for help, because I'm all about not just physical health, mental health, but also emotional health and spiritual health. I think that they all come together, and being able to talk about and lean on one another as a community, is what we're talking about tonight, is it's so extremely important. You know, mental health is something that I advocate for. It's something that we struggle with. I know so many chefs that have struggled from that, and I wish that they would have talked to me or had a conversation before they went down the wrong path. So
not only food is medicine, but community is medicine.
Community is medicine, absolutely. So that's why I do what I do, right? It's because it's not just because of my beautiful mother. It's not just because of my beautiful fellow family upstairs, but it's also because of you guys, and that's why I teach, and I try to be instrumental in my community, in our community, is because that's extremely important to my heart. So
yeah, that's important.
Yeah. So if you guys want to come over here, I can kind of walk you through this. Okay, so thank you, Mom. So is your recipe. So I wish you guys could smell this. It's so amazing. So what I basically did is coconut oil in the pan, scorching hot. Saute your onions and garlic until they become translucent. Then you throw in your celery, carrot, and then once they become soft, then you throw in your vegetable stock. At that point, you can throw in your potatoes and other vegetables. The only thing, and then mushrooms. I love mushrooms just because they have such a umami flavor. You don't miss the meat, that satisfaction. And then so what helps with the salt is basically the lemon, the citrus, you know. And then what you garnish with, you know, this pesto is very, you know, it's very robust. So and like I said, you know, I've become, since I've had hypertension, high cholesterol, just a couple months ago, being diagnosed and getting on this. I've become 80% plant-based, you know, and it's really, you know, not all people want to do that, and that's cool, but this is just a really neat, fun way of getting vegetables in your life, you know, become nice and strong. So
Healing, get the healing on.
Absolutely. So we're about to boil this up and kind of bring this to an end. You know, and but before this, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with some lemon.
The best part.
All right. To finish, and you just want to do. Hey, don't be shady with the lemon.
We had a question for you. Can you hear me?
Okay, got a question for you.
Sure.
We got a question.
Shoot.
Some of the people were asking about the
This is the best time to ask a question because we're just kind of waiting a little bit for the soup to kind of cook through. So if you have some questions and you
yeah, absolutely.
Curiosity is in your spirit, speak it out.
Yeah, the sugar you're talking about, is that refined sugars that come?
Sugar?
So maybe if they want to, do they want to put it in the chat box?
Yeah, they said sugar. Are you referring to refined sugar?
Substitute they want? But I can't hear. Oh, well, just in case.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
Is it all the way up?
So they're just talking about refined sugars. They want to know whether or not that would, he's talking about refined sugars added or sugars coming from the fruit that you eat.
No refined sugars or
No refined processed sugar. Fruit is fine because you're eating the whole food and has fiber in it, and it processes and metabolizes differently.
So the sugar substitute would be mango.
Monk fruit.
Monk fruit. Yeah.
Yes. And
what else?
erythritol. Yeah, there's a book called Keto for Cancer, and not that I've tried keto for cancer. I lost too much weight, and I'm not going that way, but it is a protocol out there. But her book has a really great chapter all about sugar substitutes, of course, because you don't eat any sugar in the keto diet. Yeah. Also, I use natural honey a little bit, just a tiny bit, and pure maple syrup. Ooh, that looks amazing.
So if you want to get down in here,
that looks amazing.
And then hit it with this pesto.
It looks phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
It smells good too.
Ooh.
And then I like to, I have these beautiful little herbs from our garden in the back. I'm just going to hit, and this is where the olive oil comes into play. Just give it a little dressing. And, you know, all the chefs are like, season everything, you know. You know, that may apply in some situations, but not here. You know, you want to let the freshness and kind of shine through.
You want the natural food to heal you. You know, that's what we want.
Right. So that's our low methionine mayonnaise vegetable soup. Right.
That looks yummy.
And so, bon appetit. You guys take this concept and run with it any way you wish fit for your lifestyle.
Yes.
I think I appreciate that.
Healthy living.
Nice job.
Thank you and appreciate it.
Yep.
Nice job.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you for this platform. I want to thank the ACF. I want to thank Kimberly Brock-Brown. I want to thank Jay-Z. I want to thank all our participants for viewing in. And, of course, Nick and Polly for setting this up and giving me the platform to kind of showcase what I do and have Mom come through and hang out. So I don't get to see her that much. So.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys, that's all we have on this end. So if you want to check us out, you can find me on Facebook at Isaac Shane Crawford or on IG The Kind Chef. So you guys stay kind to one another.
That's right.
Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate it. That was a fantastic.
Bye, everyone.
She is a honorary member. Okay. Anytime. We love having her on. Okay. Appreciate it.
It was good. Yeah.
Because we can't hear them.
All right. Thanks again, everything, for everybody joining this evening. I appreciate all of our questions. If you have any questions or anything for anyone, if anybody has any questions, please just type them out in the chat screen on the bottom.
Kimberly, we do have one question. People want to know where they can find your book. Chef Kimberly, where can we find your book?
It is online at thechefconnection.com. I'll put it in the chat as well. But that's the only place you can get it.
No, fantastic. I have that book in my office and at home, so it's sitting on both places.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Chef Jay-Z, any shout outs for InHarvest?
No, just want to say thank you. I mean, obviously, we all know whole grains is a great way to start with things. But, I mean, no, Isaac, awesome job, man, if he's still on. I didn't notice, but that was great. My mom has just been diagnosed with some cancer. So I've been also doing a lot of research as well just to get that, just to learn about food, because food does heal. I'm a firm believer in it. And what you put in your bodies is what your body turns into later. And I applaud Isaac for being able to come on here and really start sharing this. The only way we're going to get the word out is by sharing everything with everybody. So thank you for hooking us up with all this.
Thank you. I figured you guys are, two peas from the same pod, my friend. So.
I know, right? I already looked them up on Facebook, so we're connected.
Yeah. Again, I'd like to go ahead and thank all of our participants, everybody from joining in. I appreciate it highly. Everybody, I'd like to thank our partners that support us and allow us to do what we do. U.S. Foods, Atlanta, Cisco Atlanta, Supersource, Atlanta Equipment Company, Royal Foods, Power, Halperins, Fresh Point Atlanta, Buckhead Meats, and all their continual support for the ACF Atlanta chapter here. We look forward to doing some great things. I'm going to go ahead and post a picture real quick. We do have our next event lined up. It's going to be in September. We're going to do Know Your Butcher. So keep your eyes out. We're going to go ahead and go into the realm and support some of our local chapter participants and supporters and partners in the butcher realm. So please look forward to that on September 14th. And again, thank you so much for everything that you guys have done. And keep an eye out on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course our website, acfatlantachefs.org.
All right, we just want to thank everybody once again for joining in. We've got quite a number of participants here. Hopefully we got to everybody's question. If you've got anything else, you can definitely always reach any of us at acf.org, our Facebooks, websites, anything. You're generally going to get me or Miss Tiffany Mormon, our secretary there, who was helping out there with Chef Isaac. Of course, our president here, Chef Nick, thank you so much for putting all of this together. We super appreciate it. Kimberly Brock Brown, we hope that we've got all your messages out. We continue to Anna.
Great, good job. Thank you very much.
We're going to continue to support ACF in every aspect that we can and promote, chefs and why we care. We care about our friends, we care about our family, and we care about our partners. And so we're just going to keep doing it. Hope to see everybody.
Well said. Thank you very much, everybody. And again, like Isaac said, be kind to each other, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Thanks so much.
Thank you.